Hey, what is going on, everybody? Jacob Last Stop Waterfowl. Well, guys, we finally getting some rain here in South Louisiana today. It's been quite a while. It's good to see some precipitation hitting the ground today, as it's been pretty dry this second half of the duck season, really all of duck season. But besides the point, what I want to talk about today is I've had some people reach out to me and they wanted to get my take an opinion on the document that was released this week from Senator John Kennedy in regards to short stopping of, waterfowl making their way down south through the flyways. And I had several people, they said, hey, what do you think of this letter that, Senator John Kennedy wrote? And I'm just going to put it out there. I'm not here to hide anything. I know, being in the waterfowl industry, people want to know whether we support or we don't support things. But I'm going to keep it simple. I look at it from a simple man's point of view. I've been waterfowl hunting here in Louisiana for now right at 35, almost 40 years. And that's been with my dad, my grandfathers, my great uncles, my uncles. So my family had a history of waterfowl hunting here in Louisiana. And through the years, we can all agree that, definitely we've seen a decline in waterfowl making their way down from the, upper portions of the flyways down to Louisiana. We've all talked numerous times about how great it was back in the old days. And, everybody kind of has an opinion on what has led to the demise of waterfowl hunting down here in the South, and specifically Louisiana. Now, you guys in Arkansas, some of you in Missouri, you're starting to feel the effects of it as well. And everybody has an opinion on it, of why that is. Some people blame organizations such as Ducks Unlimited, Delta Waterfowl. Some people blame, the weather. And then other people are really, starting to look at, okay, farming practices when it comes to agriculture. How has that shifted the migration or altered the migration? And I can tell you this, I think that there's a lot of factors that play into it. But my take on the whole situation is that if you are a private land, owner, I do like the idea that you should have the right to kind of do what you want with your property in order to bring your family generations of waterfowl. If you feel that planting corn and harvesting or not harvesting corn is what provides your family more opportunity to kill more waterfowl and bring more waterfowl to your property each year, I think that is definitely your right to do so in that situation. What I don't agree with is these big hunting clubs or organizations that have now made it a business to be able to go out there, buy up a ton of land, plant, crops such as corn, and then not harvest them in order to bring more waterfowl to this property. But at the same time, it's become a lucrative business where they are profiting off of altering the migration. Because ultimately, it's a business. It's all about the bottom line dollar, in my opinion. And that's just a poor man, a simple man, seeing it from the outside of what it truly is, in my opinion. Where there's money, there will be corruption. Is this corrupt, what's happening with these big time organizations buying up big food plots, pieces of property, planning on it, and then hunting over this in order to attract more waterfowl to increase profit? Yes, 100% I believe that is going on. What is it doing to other portions of the flyways? Well, I think we could all agree that if you see what it was several decades ago as compared to what it is now, it is definitely altering the natural waterfowl migration that's going on, or that's supposed to take place. So what does that mean? Well, what does it mean for us here in Louisiana is that we don't typically get the waterfowl down here, because why would ducks leave whenever they have no pressure on them, or very little pressure or supervised pressure on them? They have all the food sources that they need. They have all the right habitat. It just makes sense that birds are not going to leave a situation like that and travel any further than they have to. But then you flip that and you look at it from, illegal baiting on, property, whether it's public land or private land, mainly public land. There's no sort of baiting allowed on there. You can't take a natural water source on public land and dump corn into a piece of public property that holds water. And that don't make a lot of sense to me, because if one group could do it and it's totally legal, then why is it frowned upon or looked upon in a different, way when it's the other side? That don't make a lot of sense to me. I don't like the fact that government needs to get involved in private property entities, other than the fact that when you're doing it as a business to make money, something needs to be done. Something needs to be monitored. Something needs to be regulated, in my opinion. Because if we continue to go this route, then waterfowl hunting is truly going to be for only the wealthy and only the rich. And people say, oh, no, that's not the case. That's kind of where we're heading with this, if we continue to allow it like it is. And that's just my opinion on it. I'm not saying I'm right. Some of you are going to agree. Some of you are going to disagree. But that's just my take on it. And that's what I see as a common man, or as a public land waterfowl hunter myself that has hunted public land my entire life. I've seen and I'm seeing what is disappearing in our culture, in our waterfowl culture. And it doesn't look good for future generations. It's not a good thing to bring new people to the sport or the hobby, whatever you want to call it. It's not a good thing for bringing people in, because we're saying, hey, only the wealthy, only the extreme wealthy that own a lot of land are going to have success in waterfowl hunting and are going to be able to imprint those ducks year after year after year, because they have all of the opportunities to do so. And in the meantime, they're becoming even more rich off of it, off of Mother Nature, off of loopholes in the farming practices, because they're trying to turn it into a lucrative business. I have a lot of thoughts on this. I know a lot of you do as well. We all have opinions. This is something that divides the waterfowl community. Whether you're for or against it, whether you're a public land guy or a private land guy. But at the end of the day, guys, I'll just say this. Once again, I'll kind of reiterate on this. Is if we continue to alter the migration of waterfowl from what Mother Nature intended, it's not a good thing at all. It's not a good thing. Because at some point, even if you are in a situation where you have all those resources and you're, making a business out of it, that well is going to run dry at some point. It just will. People are going to start looking at it and they're going to say, hey, we're not going to pay the prices to go hunt these high-end places, Or maybe they will. Maybe they will. But I just don't see that as a long-term plan. And I definitely don't think from a public land standpoint or even a private land standpoint, if you're in the lower portions of the flyway, it's not a good thing. If we continue to go the way we're going, I think, in my own opinion, once again, that we're going to continue to see it diminish year after year after year. And for somebody in the political world like Senator Kennedy to stand up, yes, he's from Louisiana. He's an avid outdoorsman himself. He waterfowl hunts. He's seen the changes. And it is refreshing to see somebody from a political standpoint side kind of stand up and say, hey, something's not right here. And we need to maybe study this. We need to take a look at this. And that's what he was calling for. In this letter that he wrote, he's calling for a study to be done to see what the impacts of, hunting over unharvested agriculture is possibly doing to the waterfowl migration. That's what it's all about, the letter. And I do commend him for that. Whether you like politics or you don't like politics, unfortunately, politics is everywhere. It plays a part in everything we do pretty much. And I do commend him. I do thank him as an outdoorsman for saying, hey, this needs to be looked at. This needs to be, studied. And let's get down to a solution. Let's find out the core cause of what is altering these migrations. We all know it's warmer nowadays, it seems like, than it used to be. We're getting later winters, it seems like. Hell, this year we don't even have a winter down south. So yes, there's multiple factors that play into it. But when you have unlimited food sources and you're doing it not only for the benefit of yourself and your family and the generations of family members that are coming down the line, but you're doing it to increase your wealth, make it a business so that you could become even more filthy rich, I don't think that's the way to go. And that's my take on it. And I'm in a situation I'll probably never be a wealthy landowner. So you may say, well, Jacob, I can understand why you would say that. But I'm not looking at it from just my standpoint, guys. I already talk about on my platform all the time, things aren't the way they used to be, and we have to adapt as waterfowl hunters because we may never see it at a peak level again. I look at it as, what are we doing for the future of waterfowl hunting? Is there going to be a future in waterfowl hunting later down the road for everybody to enjoy, for this sport to grow? Or are we gonna shrink it down? Or are we gonna drain every ounce of availability for people to go out there and be able to participate in the sport? Or are we gonna drain all of that out of this sport to where we just dry it up? And we don't have people that want to waterfowl hunt anymore. We don't have those stories to tell our kids and our grandkids about how things used to be when we used to waterfowl hunt or duck hunt, That, as I'm getting older, as an older outdoorsman, that's been doing it for a long time, that's stuff that I do think about. And I think about my kids and my grandkids. And is there going to be valuable waterfowl hunting in Louisiana and in Arkansas and in other regions of the flyways across the country for everybody to have an opportunity to go out there and enjoy it? We all need to kind of think in that aspect because our resources are not unlimited. And if we're doing more than we've ever done with organizations to make sure that duck populations are strong, shouldn't we all benefit from that as waterfowl hunters? Because we're only a small percentage of hunters when you look at waterfowl hunters across the United States per capita. Shouldn't we all be able to benefit from that if there's more work and effort going into maintaining waterfowl populations nowadays than there ever has been in the history of waterfowl populations? It would only make sense, right? So, what is my take on the whole situation? I'm really glad to see somebody from my state, a politician who's a senator, out there trying to bring some light to this situation. I don't know what the ultimate solution is. I'm not going to sit here and claim to know what the solution is. All I know is what I've seen through the years. I have my ideas, which I kind of shared with you here, on what I think has caused it, some of it. It's numerous things that contribute to it. But do I agree? with benefiting and becoming rich off of holding waterfowl in an area because you have the money, you have the resources, and you have the legal loophole to do so? My answer is no. I don't believe in it. I don't stand for it, and I don't agree with it. So that's my answer on it. That's my take on it. But I'm glad to see somebody standing up and saying something about it. And I think a lot of you guys probably are too. And that's for all of us to benefit us all across the flyways. Not just the Mississippi flyway that I'm in. Not just Louisiana. I want to see waterfowl for generations to come for all waterfowl hunters. Anybody who wants to go out and get into duck hunting, that's what I want to see. Because there's nothing else like it. There's nothing else like it. And you guys know that have been doing this and truly love to do it. So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see, guys. But there's a lot to be discussed. And there's a lot more to come, I can guarantee you. And what I would also like to see is the conversations out there be civil conversations amongst ourselves as waterfowl hunters. Because trust me, all the outside entities that are against hunters right now, that don't like the hunting industry at all, they're going to be paying very close attention to this. And we need to represent ourselves as waterfowl hunters in a good manner, with respect. Even though we don't agree with each other, we still need to come together, hear each other out, and respect one another. That would be my 2 cents, my take on it. And I'm just a nobody. So, but I am a waterfowl hunter, and I am an outdoorsman, and I am a conservationist, I consider myself. And I care about the future of the sport. But let me know what you guys think of the situation. You know my thoughts on it now. And yeah, we'll just see what happens. Y'all have a good weekend, guys. Let's get out there, try to finish strong at the end of the season, and let's go have some fun, make some memories.